My mom caught me masturbating one time, so that's even way worse than
Twice.
twice she caught you?
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. So then we yes, you understand. That's even like more. Oh.
The first time she opened the bathroom door and was like, oh, and closed it.
Oh, you didn't lock it?
No,
Oh, God.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't lock it. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Like, I found you on like TikTok, and I really wanted to do this video on LGBTQ History Month, so I thought it would be really fun to talk to you about it, especially because you knew I got in a car accident last week. And
He's okay.
I'm okay. And I texted you about the march that was happening outside the White House. You knew about it, so that made me.
Yeah. I haven't followed up on I don't think there was a decision yet.
There wasn't.
Yeah.
You know why? I looked at this. They were having difficulty deciding what the word sex meant, if that meant sexuality or gender. But I think it doesn't matter because it's all about discrimination for like
Exactly.
anybody. Yeah.
That in itself is kind of discriminatory.
It is.
What does sex stand for? The word.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
I know, and then why would it be written into law like that? Why would it have been a blanket statement? It was written to be confusing, ultimately, I believe. So it's LGBTQ History Month in October, and this is the 25th year. It started in 1994. I think like Bill Clinton signed it into law and whatever. So it's
25th year that it's the LGBTQ History Month?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even really know there was an official LGBTQ History Month until pretty recently. I would say this year. Because that's not something we celebrate in school ever. Like we have Hispanic Awareness Month, Black History Month, all these other months, but LGBTQ has never.
I know. There's 2 counties that teach LGBTQ history. Like it's a part of the curriculum. I think Broward County, which is where are you from?
Miami, Florida.
You're Miami. Okay, I'm from
So
Miami
you said
too.
Broward, and I was like,
wait a minute.
Really? Okay.
I was born in Kendall.
Oh, no way. Kendall Regional?
Yeah.
I was born in Jackson Memorial.
Oh, okay.
So like not too far.
But I lived in Miami maybe till I was like 7 or 8, and then I lived in Naples because my parents.
With all the old people.
Yeah, with all the old people, but I didn't hang out with the old people. I did volunteer at a hospital one time.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know you were from Miami.
Oh, that's cool. So you part Cuban? Like what?
Full Cuban.
You're full Cuban. I grew up with all Cubans. I love it.
Are you Cuban?
No, I always say I'm a quarter Cuban because I'm from Miami.
That's fair.
Where'd you go to school then?
High school or college?
Well, actually both. I'm curious.
High school, I went to Southwest Miami.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you went to the
South Ref.
South Ref. Yep.
South Ref Miami, or Sawaseda, as we called it. And then college, I went to FIU.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to go there all the time to visit my friends. It's a small little campus. Tiny.
It's a lot bigger now.
Is it?
Yeah, they've expanded like across the street. You didn't hear about the bridge collapsing?
No, maybe not. No.
Oh, well, they expanded to like across the street over like 8th Street.
Okay, yeah.
And they built this bridge, and the architecture students, I think, used this new technology where it wasn't cement. It would be able to hold itself up on some hydraulic something or other, and it fell and killed a bunch of people.
Oh my god. How many people? Oh my god. All right.
Yeah.
True crime case. Hello.
Not LGBTQ related at all, but.
Well, there's probably one in there.
Yeah, and it's so funny because Cubans are so like dramatic. Like my own mother was like, it would have been me. I was there 2 days ago at 10 o'clock in the morning. I was like, it could not have been you because it was 2 days before it happened.
She's like, never forget, always remember.
Exactly.
She's like standing outside. What were you doing when
I
the bridge
value my
collapsed?
life so much more. Great, Mom. What are you going to do differently? I'm not going to take 8th Street.
I love your mother already.
Like, the bridge doesn't exist anymore. It's not a problem.
Wait, speaking of your mother, actually, I'm curious, and you might have done a coming out video before. I've done one, but
I've never done one, actually.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mentioned it several times, but I've never done a dedicated coming out video.
Okay, well, it was National Coming Out Month, or Day, on October 11th last week. I was trying to get the video up. We had a car crash, but maybe this is a time to, because we're talking about LGBTQ History Month, and it's like, it sounds like this educational thing that's just kind of like to commemorate, but really it's a personal thing, because there were 2 marches that happened after the actual Civil Rights March in 1963. There's one 10 years after Stonewall, so 1969 was Stonewall. In 1979 they had one on Washington. There was like a march. It was a lesbian and gay march. And then there was one years later, 84 or something like that. I have it here. But that was actually considered the second march on Washington, the one that happened after that in 1980 something. And now there's protests and things happening there, and it's actually becoming personal to people. So in 1994, when this became a history month, the 2 counties, Broward County and then somewhere in California or all of California, that can teach LGBTQ history, like that is now a thing administratively, but it's personal. So I'm just curious, like you say your mom, so how was she with your coming out to her? Was it a big thing?
It wasn't a big thing, but it was at the same time. Okay, well, how do I start this story? Well, my dad found out first because I did not know how to delete my search history when I was 13. So my dad found out when I was 13. He's like using my laptop in my room, and he's this, you know how in Google when you try to like type something it like autofills for you?
Yes.
Well, it autofilled some very interesting things, and he just like turned around. It was in my room, and I was laying down watching TV, and he's on my laptop. He's like, "What's this?" And I'm like, pop-up ad.
God.
He's like, "But it's not, it's only popping up on the search bar. What do you mean it's a pop-up?"
Gay Dad!
And I was like, I don't know. And he just like laughed and was like, "Okay, going to sleep, love you." And I was like,
oh, it's awful. It's so awful when they find out before you can tell them.
They didn't like make a big deal out of it like at all.
Okay.
And then I just started dating boys and girls when I was 14.
Okay.
And I never really brought anyone home per se, but I would like go out and date these people. So I never mentioned it. Then I had a very serious boyfriend when I was like 18, 19.
Wow, you went for it.
And yeah.
That's cool.
And I told my mom, and she was like, "Oh, okay." And then I asked my dad why he never told my mom. They're still together. They've been married for like over 20 something years. They're very happy together. It's really
sweet.
cute and mushy and kind of gross sometimes. But, and he was just like, "Oh, it wasn't my business. Like, you should tell her."
Yeah.
Like, it's been years, father.
So that is rare. Kiara was talking about this. It's like there's so many marginalized groups that don't have that luxury, and like mine were cool too. My mom was a flight attendant. Like she caught
So
me.
all of her coworkers were gay.
I mean, like her whole.
That's such a terrible blanket statement.
Yeah, no, they well, especially then, like in the '90s when she started, like yeah, they were all gay. My mom caught me masturbating one time, so that's even way worse than
Twice.
twice she caught you.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. So then we yes, you understand. That's even like more. Like coming out is easy after that, I think.
It was.
They're both hard.
I think that one's worse than coming out. That one's worse.
I feel so not alone
Jesus.
anymore.
And my mom being like a, very out there Latina woman. The first time she opened the bathroom door and was like, "Oh," and closed it.
Oh, you didn't lock it.
Like, no,
oh God!
I didn't.
Oh, you
And
didn't
then
lock it.
Well, also in my house, like it's okay to pick the lock if you are in the bathroom and someone else needs to use it.
Oh, really?
Like, it's
Oh, no,
it's
honey.
a Latino thing.
Okay. All right. Oh yeah.
So the second time she came in and I was like, "Ah!" And she was just like, "What you watching?" And I'm like, "Stop! Stop! Get out!" It was terrible. But she's that kind of woman. And I wanted to mention also, because I said it was a big deal, but it wasn't coming out to my mom. She was okay with the whole gay thing. What really kind of stirred her was her uncle died of HIV and AIDS related illnesses in 1992. So her big preoccupation wasn't being gay, it was concern for my health because of the stigma surrounding
Did you, when
the
you
gay
were
community.
when you were growing up, did you always think you were gonna get HIV? Like I always just thought that was like there was an immediate shame and health issue attached with like coming out, for me at least. Like regardless of what happens in our lives, like it's like I always was like, oh God, but even if I come out, I'm gonna die. Like I always thought that.
Yeah, I mean the two have been connected for so long, especially because of the whole AIDS scare in the 80s, and it was practically a death sentence back then. And if you were gay, the chances of becoming infected were almost 100%, if not 100%. So yeah, pretty much, I guess coming into my own identity and sexual awareness, the minute I realized I was attracted to men and this is the life that I would be living as an adult, there was immediate fear that would be the cause of me passing away.
Yeah, well, okay, so that second march on Washington happened on October 11th, 1987. I just found it here. And I think they picked that day, and that also became National Coming Out Day. And I think they picked that day because it was Freddie Mercury's birthday. I could be wrong on that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
If that is accurate, that makes sense.
And it was called the Great March, and it was completely about AIDS because it was so taboo.
Great segue.
Yeah, you liked it?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I try to keep it to facts.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was because of the whole like AIDS.
Yep. Well, and so in 1994, 7 years later, is when they came up with LGBTQ National History Month in October. It was because this day existed in October, but they wanted to, expand it. And Governors William Weld of Massachusetts and Lowell Weaker supported initially. I have to give them a shout out because it was so hard to do then. And then Thomas Menino of Boston, he's Latino, and and Wellington Webb of Denver
Who knows?
supported, and also a year later the National Education Association supported it. In 2012 is when Broward School District signed the resolution, and then LA was a year later.
Oh, okay, well, that makes sense. I was already out of high school.
You were already out of high school.
Makes sense why I didn't learn about it.
I know, and it was probably more now, but then gay marriage was in 2014. So it's probably more places now, but and the fact that the National Education Board or whatever supported it then, 25 years ago, for this to be a month was huge, but look how long it took for it to be implemented. And it's like, more people need to tell their story, I think is really what it's about. Because we're able to do this now, but there's people who are living in shame, whose lives have been destroyed by this. There's a lot of homeless trans people. I mean, that's a whole other type of coming out.
Yeah, it's still happening today. And it's interesting that there is an LGBTQ history month and we're trying to teach LGBTQ history because it's such a, well, it's not new because there have been gay people around forever. But I mean, like all
Kiara.
of these movements.
She's a gay
Not
man.
that you've been around forever.
Kiara, come say hi real quick. Come here. You look
like,
gorgeous.
no.
Just yeah, next time.
But it's such a like recent movement, or at least these progressive movements that are happening in marches and laws being passed are so recent that many people would think, why do they need a history month? Not much has happened in the past. Like, it's all so recent, we already know about it.
Yeah.
But that's not the case because there's so many other places in the world, in the United States even, that are not aware of all of these things that are happening. Also, there have been gay people around forever.
Yeah, it used to be celebrated. The Greeks and the Romans, they loved it. You see hieroglyphs? Oh my God.
Oh, I just saw an article about those two skeletons that were found mummified, and it's like,
Saw something about this.
yeah, it's like, oh my God, look at this couple found together entombed, and it was like the biggest archaeological find in like a really long time, and they just recently discovered that it was a gay couple.
Oh, I love it so much.
So people were like celebrating this love all over the world. Oh my God, look how cute. They were celebrating a gay love, ancient
I hope
gay
they
love.
found it in Iraq. Anyway, there's a channel that he covers all the gay laws in every single country. It's really fascinating.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I know. It's like, so we're just talking about the US, but there is in the UK and Canada, they also celebrate like LGBT History Month, which is cool.
That makes sense for Canada.
Yeah,
They're so
it does.
peaceful and love everyone.
Oh, and this is the last fact about the History Month. The person who started it was a Missouri high school history teacher named Rodney Wilson, and he's kind of cute, so I'll picture him here.
Yes, Rodney.
Yes, Rodney. And we're very proud of him. We're so grateful for that. I have one other topic I really want to bring up. Can we talk about the Trisha Paytas transgender video?
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. I just saw it pop up on actually on TikTok this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she did a video in like a little like boy wig, like a brown brunette boy wig.
She was Zac Efron for a day.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it was. I was like, what is happening?
He's not cute anymore to me.
I mean,
anyway.
I don't want to question anybody's identity or, being, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to think about this one.
I have a thought on it.
Okay.
We are watching her process. We are watching what people think in their head in the shower. We are watching how people make sense of all of this, who actually have no idea what's going on. And the way that she has no obligation to represent this community. Now, she has a platform, so she has some sort of social obligation, but who determines that? We have cancel culture, so maybe that's how we determine it. I hate it, but there's that. She's done so many things at this
She
point.
doesn't care about cancel
And so
culture.
if this didn't get off the internet, she was like number 2 trending on Twitter. It's not going to be the thing. So we're watching her process. Gigi Gorgeous supported her. Like, we're watching her process unfold, her confusion about it. She had been going to a gender identity therapist for 6 months prior to this, and somehow this therapist said it was a good idea to do this. I don't know who she's going to. But we're watching the process unfold. She did an apology video, and now everybody's having the conversation, and we're redefining what it means. And we're hearing from the actual... She is a part of the transgender community. That's what's so confusing about it. It's like she's saying it, so she is. So we're hearing from members of the community who've fully committed to a transition, who have a really strong opinion about what that means. And
Sure.
we're being educated.
Here's my thing about that. Us, as members of the LGBT community, I would say across the board, are much more open-minded, accepting, tolerant, whatever word you want to use.
Yeah.
How is this being perceived by the people that are not part of this community that are struggling with their own tolerance and acceptance of the trans community, and now there's this woman who's always expressed she was a woman, still in her video said, I identify as a boy because I've never had girlfriends, but I'm still attracted to boys, so I identify as a gay boy. It's just like, we're like,
sexuality.
Okay, cool, find yourself.
Yeah.
But how is that? Yeah. I don't know. I'm concerned that it's maybe in those people's eyes taking a little bit of a step backwards.
Yeah. Well, she confused gender and sexuality, and they actually are two separate things. And that's why in the community there's bigotry within the alphabet soup, because they don't understand each other. I know.
It's terrible.
People don't understand each other. Trans people have bigotry within their own community. Just hearing her just scream this stuff out. I talked to a trans person last night, and he was like, the suicide rate's 30%. 30%. A third of trans people kill themselves. And so it's International Pronoun Day today, which I'm going to do a video on with that. And calling a she, a he, or whatever the recommended pronoun is on an individual basis, like confusing it is so gut-wrenching to them that's why the suicide, like that's part of the reason for the suicide rate, is that misidentification. So within the transgender community, this has been a huge like explosion, and I like that anger is surfacing because they're educating people who are looking on the outside and have no idea about it now. So that's why I love it. But we're seeing her process too, and her confusion about herself, because so many people are like, there's intersex, you know,
struggling with the same thing, and she's being a voice for them, I guess.
She's being a voice for the confusion, and I love that, and she's not a horrible person. That's my...
Oh no, I love her. She's entertaining as hell. I've been watching her forever. She's a genius in so many ways. I'm just wondering if maybe she should have taken a little bit more time, because of her huge following and platform, to maybe like suss out the right way to do this, as opposed to like her usual word vomit, which is what has made her so likable.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The reason why we can't have LGBT content on TikTok now, maybe, is like that actually happening on that platform sucks altogether. So, and if that's the only way that we can judge or moderate or whatever that type of content, even if it's totally confusing, then that sucks too. So I love that she's, I mean, I don't know why she isn't consulting with somebody, but I love that she's able to just throw it out.
She was consulting with her therapist.
I don't know who this therapist is, y'all. It's the doggy.
It's the dog. Well, she doesn't believe that dogs have brains.
I saw
you don't remember that video?
I love when she was
so
on
it's
Celebrity.
not the dog.
I love when she was
Or maybe it is the dog.
Maybe it is the dog.
That would make sense.
Kira, is there anything else you'd want us to hear about from us?
I thought it was a really interesting point when you were just talking about the transgender community being 30% suicidal, because
it's awful.
But I thought a way to humanize it too is like, so many people put like people in boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally equivalent to like a little girl, for example, child, getting her hair cut really short because she wanted a short haircut, and then people mistaking her for a boy.
Yeah.
And making her feel ugly because she doesn't have long hair, because that is a stigma, especially like in my culture, like being Portuguese. Is like women are always like, little girls always have long hair.
Yeah,
It's just always been a thing. We always, like when we're first born, we get our ears pierced and we have long hair. We grow our hair out, and so like it's probably similar to that for people to maybe understand.
Yeah, actually that's true, because they're in their developmental years, so it's really, and when somebody is going through the process of body dysmorphia and they're addressing that, they're in their developing years.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So just maybe just something to help people understand that can't fathom this.
So this is LGBTQ History Month.
Right.
So this is the type of stuff that people need to learn about. I mean, I don't know what type, I mean, there's history, and then there's like actually going into gender identity. I think we're a little ways away from that. You can go to university for that, but yeah.
Gender identity?
Yeah, I think there was a class I took on that. It was sexuality, and they mixed in gender identity.
Oh, I did take a class. Like, it was part of the sociology branch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I took that class also.
Yeah, and the person who taught it, I was like, stop talking about sex. I was like, it just needs to stop. It's not a judgment, but I was judging.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway. You know what I mean? It's like when the football coach teaches you about penises in 6th grade.
Oh, God.
And they're teaching
so
you health.
Awkward.
And they're like, here's the vast difference. And you're like, oh.
Yes. Do not have sex because you will die.
Guys,
get chlamydia
and die.
And die.
Any questions?
Yeah, any questions? And thanks for being a part of this. And we'll put, if we're putting this on his channel, the information will be below for me. And if we put it on my channel, the information will be below for Jason. And it's really good to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you.
You're so
too.
sweet.
Oh, thanks.
I'm glad we got to do this. I hope we helped some people.
I hope so too.
Let us know if we helped you. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.